I seriously can't believe we're already nearing Season 6 in Fortnite. Wow, that just sounds weird to say. Time really does fly, but there are some theories in Fortnite that we need to talk about. Now, obviously, tons and tons of theories get passed around on a daily basis, but after taking a look at a ton, and I mean a ton of them, on Reddit and Epic forums, I think we've boiled it down to 5 that we think are the most likely out of the ones we've seen to actually happen and come out in Season 6. These are some ideas that have been around for quite some time now. Some of these are mysteries from a long time ago. Some of these are new with the new map additions. If you guys have heard of any other theories that we may have missed, let us know about them in the comment section below. Or don't. If you don't, I mean, we'll be here till 5, so... Season 6 is a very touchy subject, but with all of the things going on in the game recently, and the things that haven't exactly been answered, all of the new and the old stuff that we've been talking about on the forums and everywhere has kind of contributed to helping us determine which theories could be possible and which ones can be outruled. Now, I personally think that the legend of Fred, the Loot Llama, is a myth. I am Fred! Oh, you look at that, he actually does exist. Well, like the video and subscribe, and I'll personally confirm or deny some of the best theories that you guys may have in the comments section below. Be sure to upvote the best ones down there. Moving on to the number 5 spot, we've got the Tomato Town theory. Tomato Town has been one of the least active spots since the beginning of Fortnite, due to its minimal loot and not much of anything else surrounding the area. But with the introduction of Tomato Temple, it's now become another hotspot on the map. As always, Epic Games don't just add things to the map randomly, but always has some elusive background story behind them that we slowly kind of figure out. This is to help establish hype and kind of build up to big releases. When the items started disappearing through the rifts, everyone was searching for where they may have teleported to, but the Tomato Head was one of the few items that we couldn't find. That was until a smaller rock like Tomato Head spawned back in. Many thought it was shrunk and burnt due to its travels through the rift, but Reddit user Ferb73craft had an amazing theory that seems to be becoming more and more true as the Battle Royale map gets updated. He theorized that the Tomato Head was actually a carved idol. When the Tomato Head disappeared through the rift, it actually traveled back in time, and those that found it thought it to be some sort of god. And this is why we now have the Tomato Temple. Just like any time travel films or stories you hear about, when something travels back in time, it can cause a ripple effect that creates massive changes in the future. And this seems to be exactly what's happening. The Tomato Head being sent back in time created a Tomato Head cult or religion, if you will, which in turn resulted in that area of the map suddenly changing to match a new timeline. Thus, you now have the Tomato Temple, which, lucky for us, is now surrounded with loot. Number 4, Pyramid under Loot Lake. Now, a little while ago, we did a video on the top 5 locations that need to be removed, and Loot Lake was one of those locations. It's just too open with the minimal loot, and I don't know anyone that enjoys hopping across that lake, but for a couple of seasons now, when you're flying over Loot Lake from a high distance, there have been some strange lines appearing in the bottom of the lake. Many did just put this down to visual glitches, but you don't see the glitches anywhere else on the map, even in other water areas. However, a lot of theories are coming out suggesting that this could possibly be pyramids, and sure enough, YouTuber Chaos released a video showing how he went into playground mode to check out the supposed glitches, and we can now see more than just some glitched lines. What Chaos shows us looks exactly like the bird's eye view of a pyramid would look like. I've seen a lot of these Loot Lake pictures showing glitches, but this is the first one I've seen that truly shows it's possibly more than just a glitch. Given that the Durr Burger has shown up right next to Loot Lake on the hill, could this also be some supporting evidence to be possible pyramids? But Top 5 Gaming, how can a giant burger relate to pyramids? Well, remember where the Durr Burger teleported to before it came back to us in Fortnite? It spawned in like a desert-like area in the real world, which, similar to the Tomato Head, time traveling could result in the whole of the Loot Lake area changing pretty soon. Number 3, the cube is a portal to the 4th dimension. Okay, so let me tell you now, researching this theory on how the cube is from the 4th dimension actually hurts my brain, but YouTuber Drifter seems to know exactly what he's talking about. Now, I'm no physicist, but as you may know, as humans, we have the ability to see up to 3rd dimensional shapes. 1D is basically your height, 2D is your width, and 3D is your depth that will turn a square you're looking at into a cube. But when we talk about 4D, it starts to get a bit confusing. To put it simply, if you were to attempt to look at a 4D cube in a 3D environment, it would pretty much look like cubes within cubes. But how does that relate to the cube we have in Fortnite? Well, if you go into playground mode, use the free camera, and check out inside the cube, you can actually see there are 3 cubes in total. One is the purple cube you see, within that is the second cube, and within the second cube is the third cube, which Drifter explains is pretty much how part of a 4-dimensional object would look like in a 3-dimensional environment. Now, he also explains that this cube is only part of the whole object, so it's possible that the rest of it is still somewhere outside the Battle Royale world. This means that even though the rift is now closed, we may still see some teleporting action going on. Could the cube be leaving these runes and low-gravity fields around the map that may turn into some sort of portal system that will allow us to travel around the maps? Who knows? But what I do know is that I need some strong painkillers for the headache I got researching multiple dimensions. Number 2, underwater map theory. Speaking of the cube and runes it's leaving around the map, we come to our next underwater map theory. Now, in case you're wondering, there have been multiple coding leaks on this cube, and supposedly it'll leave roughly 6 or 7 runes around the map before traveling to a lake. Most people assume this will be Loot Lake. Now, with the introduction of these runes, it makes sense to find anything similar on the map that might give us a clue to what they mean. And sure enough, if you head over to the Viking village on the top of the hill by Greasy Grove, you can find a couple of Norse runes on the sail of Viking ship. The first rune that looks like an H translates to Haglaz, which means renewal. The second rune that looks a bit like a straight S means Ihawaz, which translates to transformation. And oh boy, have we had a lot of renewal and transformation going on and coming soon in the Battle Royale map. But the links don't stop there, because you know that epic character you unlock at the end of Season 5, Ragnarok? Well, Ragnarok is also from Norse mythology, and for them, it meant pretty much the end of the world. It would be a series of apocalyptic type events that change and define a new world. But one of the most common Norse mythology theories was that the world would be submerged in water. And to strengthen this theory even more, Epic Games actually licensed a really old game called Rune, and the third level was called Underwater Rune, in which you had to enter an underwater city, kind of temple-like structured, which is underneath a lake. Coincidence? I think not. Number 1, the cube will destroy Tilted Towers. Now, a lot of people love Tilted Towers due to its high kill potential, unique environment, and mass amount of loot, but a lot of people also want it destroyed due to at least 20% of the lobby going there nearly every game, which results in less people spread out around the map that can make going to other areas a bit boring. But this theory could result in the destructing or transformation of Tilted Towers. You know those runes that keep popping up on the cube? Well, people have been trying to figure out what they mean since the cube spawned, and what they found is that if you take all the runes and put them all together, almost like a jigsaw puzzle, it almost matches the bird's eye view of Tilted Towers. It matches surprisingly well. Could this be confirmed information that Tilted will be destroyed like Epic have been trolling us with for months on end? I'm not sure, but if I was to try and be neutral about this from the eyes of a skeptic, you could say it's been rigged. Some runes have been enlarged while others have been shrunk to make it fit the buildings as he pleases, like a bad Photoshop job. And if you check out the red umbrella building, the building below it, and the garden to the left, the runes just don't really match. Plus, you've got that random line sticking out in the bottom right overlapping the mountain, but who knows? Until that cube stops traveling, we'll just have to wait and see. Really excited to see what this puzzle leads us to, though. But that has been our list of the top 5 Fortnite Season 6 theories that may just come true. If you have not already, click that like button, subscribe to the channel with push notifications on so you never miss a future Top 5 Gaming video. But other than that, we hope you have a wonderful day, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.